And all of a sudden, an additional 10 minutes had passed, and we had only 5 minutes where we usually want 15 minutes to get to school. We've been talking a lot about how to manage projects lately, and integrations and stuff like that. But I have an issue on a more personal note that I've been thinking about, especially this morning, because I took my kids to school, and we were like 15 minutes early, and we were fixing things, and then we had eaten. They have brushed their teeth, so it was more or less just take your shoes on and jacket and get to school. But since it was 15 minutes left, it was a little bit too early to go there and just leave them 15 minutes before the school starts. So I thought that I'll just clean up the dishwasher, and my daughter started playing with Legos, and my son checked some game with Pokemon and to see if he could find a Pokemon. And all of a sudden, those 15 minutes were gone, and it was time to go. And no issue with that. But as my son were to take his shoes on, he realized that the shoes actually was on drying, and the shoelaces had been removed. So he had to kind of reset the shoelaces and to put his shoes on. And when he touched the door handle on the door, he remembered that he needed apples in his backpack. So I had to go to the kitchen and fetch those. And all of a sudden, an additional 10 minutes had passed, and we had only 5 minutes where we usually want 15 minutes to get to school.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that that is probably something that usually happens in a lot of projects as well, that you think you're done, but when the customer starts looking at your solution, you realize that, oh, there's something missing here. And if I've just gotten that information a week earlier, I could have fixed it. But since we gave it to the customer today, because the deadline was today, there is no time left to fix it.
Yeah. I have one remedy for that. I've used it a lot of times.
Okay.
Actually. It's when, well, in this situation where I've been the project manager and somebody says, I'm done.
Yeah.
Then show me. That usually works. That usually works very well.
Yeah.
Because yes, you've done something, but you're quite right. There might be minor detail, maybe somewhat unrelated to specific problems that you hadn't thought of, like the shoelaces. It could be other stuff. You know, we've been working with things where the environment suddenly changes, and you didn't know about it.
No.
So instead of, I mean, you're sitting down there and you feel happy and comfortable because you've done what you should do. There should be a review always of the solution, of the fix or whatever you made. And it's when you don't do that, it hits you.
Yeah.
You should build that into the project process. I mean, that there is some kind of review, and you should actually yourself insist that somebody reviews, checks is it okay?
Yeah.
And the problem is that sometimes you're working a couple of guys on the project, and the situation is that they are there really aren't any project manager here. You're just working together, and it goes okay.
Yeah.
And you can say if you're two guys, if you're two people working on a project, then
You're more or less managing each other. Yeah.
yeah, when that happens, the situation can easily be that both persons are very busy on whatever they are doing.
Yeah.
So the other guy hasn't time to focus on your problem.
That's happened a few times with the customer projects as well. In some cases where there's an external consultant that needs to do some things for the other business, and he's only in like 1 day a week or something. Then that will be postponed until he has time to actually put some hours down to the project.
Yeah, I think that maybe you could do maybe you could make a compulsory peer review of the project. You know, say okay, every Monday you must set aside a couple of hours to check what your mate did the previous week.
Yeah, and in regards to the kids, I have had periods where I've written down some of these things on a checklist, like the apples, for instance, that need to be in the backpack, and things to do. So I've experimented a lot with those kind of things. But the thing is, when you have a checklist and you've done it a couple of times, you feel that you know the checklist, and then all of a sudden you stop using the checklist because you already have all the items in the checklist. And then after a while, some of the items might not be needed every time you do go to school. And
you know what? I have a son as well.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a grown-up man now, but when he was a little boy, I never really practicing parenting like a computer project, you know, or software project.
Yeah.
I don't think that. Did you actually get to school in time?
Yeah, we did. And on Mondays, they start 15 minutes later. So we actually came early, even though we were kind of right on time.
Well, Johan, if it works, don't fix it.
No, we usually tend to come 1 or 2 minutes before the school starts. So, but I think it's the thing that I don't want to leave early, but in IT projects, it's actually easier to complete the project earlier and just ship it to the customer so they can review it, giving them as much time as possible. But you don't want to go, but just because you have woken up in half an hour earlier, you don't want to leave your kids outside the school waiting for the teachers to get there. They have certain hours when they start, so you want to leave them as close to that time as possible.
Well,
so I think that's the slight difference.
Yeah.
You don't have the issue of customers complaining if you complete the projects too early.
No, but you have a situation of the teachers complaining if you don't pick them up in the afternoon. Exactly.
Yeah, as well. Yeah. So there's some different challenges there.
Yeah.
But that's more of a production issue when you do recurring productions, because then you want to have just-in-time delivery, so you don't have too much stock in your warehouse and stuff like that.
Oh.
That is more like leaving the kids at school then.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah. I hope any of our viewers got anything out of this short little video, because I think we've emptied this topic for now.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have some work to do, and get back to it later.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Johan. Bye-bye.
Yeah, if you want to see more of these videos, please leave a comment or like the video at least, so we know that you liked it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.